Are you guys seeing what you think you're seeing? Yes, you are. This is the new Made to Move Barbie. I ordered mine online and they're finally here. Warning, this video might be longer than usual because I have so much to tell you and this review is going to be very thorough. On the back of the box, you see the 3 dolls in this line, including the Barbie, Teresa, and this Asian version in different skin tones. Okay, but on the front of the box, behind the doll, on the cardboard backing, you can barely see a 4th doll. What's this? A brown skin doll? What? She is not featured on the back of the box. What's up with that? To me, this is a strike against Mattel. Something is wrong with this picture. Looking closer at the packaging, it's very simple. Just plastic encasing the doll against the cardboard backing. She's sitting on a makeshift ledge so you can see how flexible she is. The front boasts the ultimate posable Barbie doll. On the back, there is a date of 2015, so I suppose this is the release date, but the year is almost over, and I haven't seen any of these in stores. Have you guys? That's kind of weird. Let's take another look at this backing. The black doll is clearly on the packaging, barely visible when the doll is packaged up. So, was this a promo shot they took on the back? And then maybe as an afterthought, they decided to make a brown doll? I feel like I'm giving them too much of the benefit of the doubt. The two packages are different in that one has a big picture of the black doll featured and one doesn't. I don't understand why they did this because it's for the exact same Teresa doll. I feel like this is false advertising because she is not featured on the back where it says collect them all. It's frustrating as a person of color to see how these dolls are marketed. So I had to mention this because it was something very noticeable to me, and for those of you who still aren't sure, here's a picture of the black version of this doll, whom I know was available online at some point, but now I can't seem to find her anywhere. Again, if you have seen these dolls in your local stores, leave a comment and tell us where because we're all curious. Okay, our doll is now out of the box. I bought 2 Teresas. Straight out of the box, I noticed some huge differences from the articulated bodies that we're all used to. They have some cool joints, but I have to say it will take some getting used to. Visibly, they make the doll look a little robotic. Her body feels heavier than the hollow plastic bodies that are being produced lately. I noticed the hip joints are quite stiff, and it will not be easy for a small child to move them. The box suggests the doll is for ages 3 and up, but a kid that young will not be able to move these joints easily, so expect to help them if you get this for your kids. The arms are a bit different too. I have another jointed doll here for a reference. See how I can put her arms down flat to her sides? Well, the Made to Move doll can't do that well. Her arms don't want to lie flat against her sides because she has some extra joints in her arms that make them a bit thicker, and they just won't lie flat in that way. So that's something to keep in mind. Here's a closer look at Teresa's face. She isn't wearing a lot of makeup. She has very simple, almost no eyeshadow. She has on a basic pink lipstick. Her eyes are a blue-gray color. She isn't the most glamorous Barbie. Her hair is made of good quality saran, easy to brush, a bit of gel in the hair, and a wannabe curl going on, but I think it'll brush out. Her hair is a flat one tone. Her clothing are also very basic. A block design shirt with blue and yellow colors. There is no Velcro on the shirt, so it has to be removed manually. The shirt is a stretchy jersey kind of a material. For a small child, they will need some help getting the shirt on and off and redressing it on other dolls. Her pants are leggings, which also have no Velcro, but it will slip on and off easily. She has no pierced ears, no jewelry, and she's not wearing any shoes. Now, let's see what's the same and what's different about this body compared to what we're used to. She has a skinny, long neck. I read online that her neck is supposed to be more posable than the older bodies, so let's see if that's true. Okay, can her head move further back than so ones? Let's see. Yeah, a little. How about to the side? Yeah, I think it's a little further dipped down. Well, what about forward? Yep, Teresa seems to be looking further down than so one. It's subtle, but I'll give them that one. The neck does seem more flexible. I don't know exactly how many points of articulation she has, But let's undress her so we can get a better look at her body and take a close-up look at her joints. We will have to get used to the look of these bodies because the joints make her look so much like a robot. They aren't as streamlined and graceful looking as the dolls that we're used to. Let's work our way down. Her shoulder is a bit wider. They can come out this far to the sides. It doesn't come out much further than Sohwon's. In fact, Sohwon's shoulders seem like they come out a little bit further. Am I imagining that? That's okay though. It's pivotal, so it rotates like this. She can open her arms this way too. This extra part right here allows her whole arm to rotate like this. So you turn it like this. You do have to get the hang of it because the joints are a bit stiff. It's very hands-on. Her elbow joint is built with a stopper and it doesn't pivot like these ball-jointed elbows do. The ball-jointed elbows move more smoothly. So with these made-to-move bodies, the elbow joints don't go up. You can't make her elbow bend backwards. You can rotate the whole arm from this upper joint, but not from the elbow itself. The cool thing about the elbow joint is that it can bend the arms at 2 points, like this, so it folds closely to her body. She can touch herself with this type of flexibility. She can touch her belly, her chest, her neck. She can touch her face in different places. She can touch her other hand and clap or pray. She can move the elbow joints in a way our older bodies can't do. If I had to choose between the rotating elbow and this type of elbow, I would choose this one because it's a more functional way to move the arm. Someone can't touch her face or herself at all, and this type of joint makes no sense. So Teresa's body does allow her to be posed with props like a toothbrush and a comb, and it's more realistic. The wrists have regular ball joint action. Her rib cage also moves and pivots, so we're already used to that from some of the articulated fashionista bodies. That part's the same. It bends out and in and side to side. You can give her a different posture depending on her mood, like, wow, I'm having a great day, or damn, my life really sucks. I also like the shape of her torso. The contouring and the figure is quite pretty. You do have to get used to the extra joints, making her look a little bulkier when clothed. This is how her hips move. She can bend so she can sit and stand. Her legs don't split all the way, but pretty far. Here, her thighs rotate the same way the upper arms do. They rotate the entire leg, and her knees are not pivotal. It's got the stopper on it, like these knees. These are very sturdy and you can hold them from the calves. These are pivotal knees that I think are useless. I don't need knees to rotate this much, and when I hold them at the calves, they tend to make the doll fall back from her upper body weight, and you can't hold them there to move them around because the knees are weak. So with Teresa's knees, the joints are stiff and the legs are a bit thicker, like Sohwon's. I can't show you this doll's full body because she's Muslim, but you can peek at her skinny legs real quick. So in comparison, these dolls are sturdy and the knees don't bend forward, but they do bend backwards at 2 points. So they can bend all the way back like in action figures. You can twist her legs like this too, but I don't know why you would need to. When you rotate the thighs, they stop at a certain point on each side. They don't go all the way around. Of course, she has the flat to heels feet, but they do twist up a little bit more than the original flats to heels feet. Like these are the original flats to heels body, and they don't twist up as much as Teresa's do. Her arms are kind of awkward. I know it will take some getting used to, but that's a small price to pay for all the versatility. Now let's redress her to see how she looks in something different. We may have to adjust to the difference in these bodies because of the joints. Here she is in a bathing suit. She looks like a robot from all the joints. We're used to the other bodies with the joints looking more streamlined. They're almost invisible to us. Okay, is it just me, or does her butt look really flat? Not that Barbies have ever been known to be bootylicious, but her thighs look so much thicker because the joints cause the vinyl to overlap here. Here's the skirt I'm gonna try on her. I suspect this doll's hips are a bit wider than other dolls. I think that's true based on how hard it is for me to fit this skirt on her. She's in it, but I really had to stretch it to close the Velcro. She should be fine with pants that run a little bigger, or leggings and stretchy waist, let's try on these flats to see how well they stay on. I tried some other flats on the other body. They aren't high tops. They slip off easily when her feet bend upwards, which this kind of body does a lot. Her ankles like to bend on their own a lot, so the high tops are better on this doll. Here are some high-heeled shoes. She fits these well. I do think the high top shoes are best on this body type. So now let's cover her arm joints with a jacket. I think she does look better with her joints covered. I would have loved to see her in some summery outfits with no sleeves or shorts, but this body type just isn't made for that without drawing a lot of attention to her joints. She was hoping for a breezy day at the beach, but the other dolls couldn't handle her differences, so they insisted she cover up with all these sleeves. Poor thing. Well, we'll have to get used to it. She looks better than she did in that hideous yoga outfit though. The arms are a little annoying, not wanting to stay down. Maybe it's just this one doll. Maybe they don't all do this, but you won't know until you take her out of the box, so keep that in mind, guys. I wanted to show you guys her complexion next to these other dolls who have black people complexions. One looks mixed, half black and white. The other is supposed to be a really light-skinned black girl. So one over here. These are actual complexions of real black people. And I bought these Made to Move dolls to use them as body donors. So I'm not really interested in Teresa's head sculpt. I think she's just okay. And I have prettier dolls who could use this body. And that's kind of what I meant when I said it seems like Mattel is just charging you for this doll's body. As you can see, these dolls are all around the same complexion. My hijabi was a fashionista who came on a stiff body. So when I dismembered the second Made to Move doll, I saw that the neck joint is the same as the other Barbie bodies. Doesn't this body seem to have better shoulders than the other one? The arms lay flatter to her side. I don't know, maybe all the dolls don't have these funny arms, but whatever. So here's her one on this Made to Move body. I think she looks good. It's not as graceful, but she can do a lot of new poses now. I need her to be flexible because we do a lot of episodes featuring Sohwan since she is a main character. I'm going to behead the other Teresa and place another doll's head on that body too. I think you guys who like to animate, do photo series and blogs, Instagram pictures, these Made to Move bodies will give you so many options to tell stories. I hope Mattel will think twice about how they market these dolls because it's not fair that only the lighter 3 dolls made it onto the box. Now, some of you guys are thinking, here goes another angry black person. But no, this is something we in the black community and half black community have to deal with a lot from toy companies and mainstream advertising. We are not represented accurately. Our diversity is not recognized often or well enough. So it's frustrating to endorse these products while knowing that we're deliberately being left out. We just want these companies to play fair, that's all. And it's not just black people, many brown peoples aren't represented, like indigenous groups, Arabs and Middle Eastern peoples, darker Asians like the Filipinos, Vietnamese, Cambodians. There are more than just white, aka blonde, Latina, somehow always very light-skinned, and very light Asians out there who want to be represented in the dolls that they play with. You feel me? It's 2016, Mattel has no excuse, and this is not the 60s, so I'm just not gonna let them slide under the radar. They can afford to try harder to portray us properly. We make them enough money. As a mom of a brown child, I want my kid to see herself in her dolls too. And you know, white people like diversity too. There are plenty of collectors who aren't black that want dolls of different ethnic looks. The other thing I also wanted to mention is that, technology-wise, clearly Mattel has the ability to create bodies like this for these Barbies. So that being said, I really hope that they're going to put more effort into focusing on Ken. We want more diversity in our Ken dolls, and they could use these kinds of articulation in their bodies as well. I don't want to have to spend my money on action figures who aren't designed for fashion doll play, just to make up for the fact that I don't have enough Ken dolls to match up my female dolls with. So I'm sure some of you guys feel the same way about it, and I'm just vocalizing it here for all of us. I know some of you guys will be saying, wow, $15 is a good deal for a doll with all this articulation. But here's my theory. Most jointed dolls retail at about $20 right now. But they do come with fancier packaging, shoes, a fancy outfit, and a more glammed up style. To me, $15 is not a great deal for this doll. You're basically paying for the doll's body. She doesn't come with anything except a hideous and simple outfit. $8 Fashionistas come with better features, clothing, and accessories. This doll has no makeup, and her packaging is really simple. Typically, Mattel gives you more than just a doll for that price range. I don't think this shirt is cute. I think it was slapped together. They were trying to keep costs down by not adding Velcro or a snap button. I feel like this doll was more of a test to see what consumers' reactions would be for a doll like this. Look at the pictures on the box. I predict more of these dolls will be released in 2016, and this will be the standard articulated dolls for us. I feel like they'll do more glamming up of the doll. They'll have fancier hairstyles and jewelry. They'll come with shoes, accessories, maybe even props like food and phones and different things you can pose your doll with. Like on the box you see this girl, she's playing a guitar, they're sitting around, hanging out, riding bicycles. They're doing more than just yoga poses. But the catch will be that the price will go up from $15 to about $20 to $25. And then the stores will be saturated with these jointed dolls. We will still have the other articulated bodies that we're used to, but these will definitely become the new standard. So that's my prediction based on the way Mattel has been doing things in the past, and that's my explanation for why the store shelves haven't been covered with these things. Maybe bigger cities like New York and LA have some of these in their shops, but everywhere else people will have to find these dolls online for now. Overall, I do give this doll an A. The price is good at $15. She's not worth much more than that. If you see this doll for $15 to $20 in the stores or online, snatch her up, but do not pay an insane price like I've been seeing on Amazon and eBay lately. Don't do that, because these con artists that aren't part of our doll community are totally scamming you. You'll feel really dumb when you've spent $30 to $60 on these things, and then you start seeing them popping up in the stores for like $20 or less everywhere you go next year. It's worth the wait. Just be patient and get more for your money later on. Let me know if you have questions about this doll that I did not cover here. I will make a video if there is something specific you guys want to see. These are great donor bodies for people who like to animate or photograph their dolls. It'd be great to see the darker doll and maybe like a Nikki complexion. Let me know what y'all think of this doll in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed the review. This is Gypsy for Broken Barbie TV. Make sure you're subscribed so you can stay updated. And watch our dolls in action on the Broken Barbie Show right here on Broken Barbie TV. Have a dolly day!